I think I'm quite ready for another adventure.
So our story begins when I receive an email from another good Christian called Miss Annabel or maybe Annabelle Harry. So unbeknownst to me, I supposedly did some kind of business with her, and that for my efforts I am to receive a prepaid Visa card with 420,000 US dollars already loaded onto it. Naturally, this card is in the possession of a bank in Senegal, and yes, I'm sure you know where this is going. It's just another one of those Nigerian prince or advance fee fraudsters again. So I decided to start off by playing dumb and respond to Miss Annabel. Dear Annabel, thank you for your email. I must say I was absolutely thrilled to hear from you as it's been so long. I didn't think I'd ever hear from you again. I'm delighted to hear the money has been saved onto a Visa card that I can collect. I will very much need that over Christmas. Are you and your husband well? God bless, Oliver. Next, I get an email from Mr. Ibrahim Diop of the United Bank of Africa. Mr. Diop sends me a big long email which I won't bother to read, and he's written it in bold caps locks, making it all the more urgent with the usual gubbins of the will of something something and the request for information you should never give out on the internet. And pay attention to this piece of small print here because we're going to be coming back to it shortly. Well, I didn't get in touch with Mr. Diop because I've got some concerns about him using DHL who are quite unreliable at this sort of thing. Mr. Diop, thank you for your email. I must say I was quite concerned that the money was never going to come my way. I hoped and I prayed every day that Annabelle was who she said she was, but it appears that my prayers have been answered and this really is a Christmas miracle. Now I must request using another courier service as I have had issues with DHL in the past. Does Yodel operate out of Africa? Now, what are the next steps in getting these funds? Dear sir, thank you for your response. Apart from DHL, there are other courier services, such as UPS and others. I don't know about Yodel, but there are many other services who can deliver the parcel to you successfully and without any problem. Please send us your details, your full name, complete address, city, country, occupation, and phone number, so that I can go and know the cost of delivering the card and let you know. I await your urgent response. Yep, I don't see how my occupation is going to be relevant to sending out a parcel. But lo and behold, I send it anyway along with a fake address, so it would now seem I live in New York City rather than Arizona or the province of Ulster. Now, if you remember the small print from earlier, it stated in bold caps locks that they cannot tamper my funds in any way. This is one of the many excuses that the criminal will use for anybody who hits them with a gram of logic, but I do it anyway just to see what he comes back at me with. Then notice in his next email he's had a wee inconsistent slip. It's now FedEx sending the parcel, but I'm still not convinced or happy with his courier choice. Sensing a hint of frustration, he sends me this following email with part of the small print attached, and supposedly this will safeguard my funds from any embezzlement or criminal activity. In response, I say to our scammer, "Okay, well, you have the permission to tamper with my funds if that's what's needed, or if that's not possible, can you send me a reference number so that I can pay the courier direct myself?" Now, seeing there's only two requests I'll entertain, I decide to see where the pick up in person request goes. So I decide to enlist the assistance of my good friend and colleague Callan Weiss, or maybe Sophia Green. Quick note here. Callan Weiss was the name of a scammer who I was briefly engaged to last year, which ended in some quite amusing consequences. You can watch that video in the link below. I arrange a time for Callan to pick up the ATM card, and I even send the laughably fake ID that the previous scammer sent to me when I got engaged to him. Now, joking aside, this is really quite serious. These scammers would have been likely to either kidnap or attempt to rob Callan Weiss. I can't imagine what they were planning, but it can't have been pleasant. This just really shows how dangerous these criminals are. Now, though I wasn't able to pinpoint the exact location of the scammer's alleged bank, I did have a look on Google Maps and it appears to be a mainly residential street and not a place where you'd find the respected bank. Well, Friday comes and quite obviously Callan never showed up at the bank and never made any attempt to contact them, and so they're really not pleased now. So doing what I do best in chat and shite, I responded that I couldn't reply as it was the Sabbath, reality being I just enjoyed a few drams and couldn't be arsed responding that weekend. I pushed my luck a little bit and make a claim that Callan's taxi driver informed her that this was a potential trap that she was about to walk into, and thus freaked out and went to her hotel where they could contact her. But our scammer doesn't buy it and says, "We don't have time to waste with jokers." I write back a few more times and I get no response, so finally I cave in and say, fine, I'll pay the fee. What's the bank's Bitcoin wallet address? Now this brings the scammer back on the hook and I get the following email, which, to no surprise, the United Bank of Africa uses Bitcoin these days. And I then write back, okay, if you're willing to apologise for calling me a time-wasting joker, then give me the Bitcoin wallet address. I'm very angry that you've been calling me names. My colleague Miss Weiss was very scared by the whole situation, which you never cleared up with me, and so I'd like an apology to her too. So it looks like our scammer is too proud to apologise. I get the following email back from him. Dear sir, we do not have time to waste on jokers because our bank address which was given to you is correct. Why didn't your representative call our bank line for any inquiry? I think you should get your apology from your representative while she gets an apology from her taxi driver. If you are ready to make payment via Bitcoin, you request for a wallet to pay from us, so that we can send your Visa card to you. If you are not ready to do that, please stop writing us. I have loads of work to do this Monday morning. Well, the scammer's hurt my pride too, so I respond to him, I have no idea why you keep calling me a joker. I'm a highly respected engineer. Nevertheless, I will request this Bitcoin wallet so that I can pay for my card. It's not my fault that the taxi driver told my colleague that your bank location was not an actual bank, and she naturally got scared. However, maybe you guys can clear this up with a taxi company. She used this service, and I just gave him the link to some random taxi service in Dakar. Now please kindly give me the wallet address. I'm a busy man too, and you have made this far too difficult for me. So in an attempt to fool the scammer into thinking I've sent the payment, I play in that their own game and make a fake transaction slip. But given Bitcoin wallets are total jumbles of letters and numbers, I make a couple of minor errors in hopes that our scammer will think that maybe I sent the payment to the wrong wallet. Sadly, he doesn't buy it and I get the following email. The receipt you sent us is fake. I told you we don't have time for jokers. And just for some added irritation, I respond to him, what are you talking about? I've not sent any fake slip at all. This was the receipt I received when I made the payment into your bank's Bitcoin wallet. You've been awfully rude, and I'll be informing Miss Enable about this lack of professionalism and rudeness you have shown. Now, can we please sort this out? So I then write back to my supposed ex-business partner Enable to complain about the bank's shocking conduct and lack of professionalism, and I include them in the CC. Dear Enable, I hope you are well and your transaction in Switzerland went smoothly. I'm writing to inform you that the people you hired to deliver the ATM card to me in Africa have been incredibly rude and unprofessional. When my friend and colleague Miss Callan Weiss appeared to collect the card on my behalf, she was told by a taxi driver in Dakar not to go there, as supposedly there was no bank there and she could be kidnapped. Then, as I am unable to use Western Union, I asked if I could send the money via Bitcoin, to which I received the bank's Bitcoin wallet address to which I paid the delivery fee. The man at the bank then called me a time-wasting joker and has so far not sent me my ATM card. Can you please clear this up with them ASAP, as I think that this is an absurd show they have put on thus far. I have included the email thread as evidence. A neighbour or more likely the scammer I've been dealing with then tries to make me feel stupid by being surprised that I am yet to receive the card and haven't been withdrawing the cash, and of course it wouldn't be a 419 scam without a God bless at the end of it. Now our scammer then promptly responds to his own email again, alleged to be the bank, and he obviously thinks he's being smart by noting the times he received the receipt not matching my alleged time zone. The response I get is long and drawn out, so I won't bother reading it, but it's the same, not serious, and that he's a busy person, that you find a lot in these 419 scams. Once again, sir, I have not been making jokes. I made that transaction at 11:50 when I sent it. Because I was busy, I didn't send you the email until later and you rudely called me fake and a joker and have so far refused to apologise to my colleague Miss Weiss who tried to meet you but was told by a taxi driver that your location was not a bank and that she was at risk going there. I gave you her hotel number, yet still you refuse to contact her. It would appear that you may be the joker here, and I'd like to speak with your superior manager. Now I just like to imagine he's very angry as he's typing this email. We received your email at 8:13 a.m. New York time. How then is it possible that you made the transaction at 11:50 a.m. New York time? How? Just explain to Miss Enable how on earth that is possible. You are embarrassing us by claiming you sent money to us and that we have your money and refuse to send your card. Please stop! Well, I just continue to play dumb with him. Hello, sir. I don't know how that happened, but I sent the money like I said and I have the transaction receipt to prove it. I firmly believe that you are a dishonest person who is trying to deceive me and Miss Enable. I'd like to speak to your superiors. This is highly unprofessional. The only person you are embarrassing is yourself by calling me a liar and a joker. Please just send me my card, which I have paid the delivery fee for. Well, I get one final response from the bank. With your last response, it is now clear to all that you are a criminal. You did a very poor editing and thought you could deceive us with it. You are a fool. I want to make it clear that you will never get any more response from us again, as we are going to blacklist your email. And true to their word, this was the last response I got from the United Bank of Africa in Dakar. Sadly, I won't be able to do business with them ever again. Well, that just about wraps it up for today's little adventure, folks. But just remember to stay safe online, and if something seems too good to be true, it usually is.